Have you ever wondered what it would be like if Einstein, Steve Jobs, and your child's brain had a party? Welcome to the Neuroquirky Nexus, where we celebrate the extraordinary minds of our neurodiverse children. Welcome to you amazing parents and caregivers to this podcast. Here we are going to navigate the colorful world of neurodiversity, and we're going to explore holistic, out-of-the-box solutions for children and teens with ADHD, stress, anxiety, and other neuroquirks. Each week we'll dive into practical, brain-based techniques and quirky strategies to help your child thrive. I'm Lori Bloyer, a former veteran teacher turned holistic neurogrowth, learning, and life success coach. As a parent of a neurodiverse child myself, I've spent the last 20 years researching, experimenting, and developing unconventional approaches to support these unique minds. I myself have ADHD diagnosed later in life, and thank goodness, now I understand some of my neuroquirks, and I am going to give you, from my years of teaching in the classroom, my son and myself, several tips, tricks, strategies to help you and your child thrive and create peace at home and joy in your life. So, are you ready? Let's get quirky. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Neuroquirky Nexus. I'm so delighted you're here. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to kind of wrap up the series we've been doing about emotions and how we work with our children that are experiencing different emotions and ourselves. And we're going to be talking about mindfulness and emotional regulation. And we're going to focus on neurodivergent kids, but obviously, definitely, you can do this with yourself. Some of these skills are amazing for yourself. They're definitely ones that I did for myself and my son when we were working on emotional regulation and how to manage our anger. Okay, so welcome back, and I'm just so happy you're here. I'm your host, Lori Bloyer, and I have had so much experience in this area personally, but working with my students and clients, I really am excited to share with you some very practical mindfulness techniques to help you and your child when storms are hitting, right? When there are the storms, whether it's an emotional storm, an anger storm, any type of storm, I want to be able to help you. And today, we're going to learn all about that. If you're raising or teaching or working with a child who's neurodivergent, or yourself, maybe you or they have ADHD or autism, sensory processing, or just a brain that is wired differently, you probably have noticed that they have big emotions, big reactions, and sometimes a struggle to focus, calm down, or bounce back. This isn't bad behavior. It's not something that needs to be fixed. It's a different wiring. And the beautiful thing is we can teach tools that support that wiring instead of fighting it. Today, I'm going to walk you through why mindfulness and emotional regulation matter so much for our neurodivergent kiddos, how the brain plays into all of this, and what real simple strategies you can use to help your child feel more calm, confident, and in control. All right, are you ready? Let's get quirky. So what is emotional regulation anyway? We're going to start here. Emotional regulation is just the ability to notice a feeling, name it, and respond in a way that helps, not hurts. For neurodivergent kids, this can be extra tricky. The part of the brain that says, hang on, let's think before we act. That's the prefrontal cortex, and it's still under construction in every child. But for some, that construction zone is a little messier. And in a sensitive nervous system, you add that to the mix and boom, meltdowns, shutdowns, outbursts. It's all happening. But of course, there's hope, right? The brain is incredibly flexible. It grows and changes through experience. That means these skills can be learned, and mindfulness is one of the best tools to build that regulation muscle. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So let's keep going. Why it works, and especially works for the neurodivergent brains. So mindfulness might sound like this fancy word, or some of you might not believe in it, but it's really just, talking to your brain, being mindful about what you do, say, act, feel, just really connecting with your self. I guess I could call it selfful. Connecting with yourself. That's a new word. I'm coining it, selfful. Anyway, it's just paying attention on purpose in the present moment and doing it with kindness instead of judgment. It's not about making your child sit still and silent. Nope. It's about helping them notice what's going on in my body right now. What do I need? Can I pause before I react? For kids who live in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, that mode, more often than not, this is life-changing. It helps with noticing big feelings before they explode. It helps them focus the mind and calm the body, reduces anxiety and sensory overload, and it strengthens social and self-awareness. And the coolest part, it doesn't take hours of mindfulness or selffulness. It doesn't take hours of meditation. Even a few mindful moments a day can rewire the way a child responds to stress. You heard that. Isn't that cool? So we can really help our children quickly, easily. And I'm going to give you some tools for that. Okay? Mindfulness tools. What are they? Let's talk about them. Yeah? The fun part. Let's talk about those tools that you can use today. They're especially helpful for neurodivergent learners. You can adapt them based on your child's needs, of course. Please do so. Number 1, mindful breathing. Those of you that have listened before know that I love breathing. It's the fastest research-based way to calm the nervous system. And for little kids, you can use a pinwheel, you can use bubbles, your fingers to represent a balloon going in and out. But a very common one is box breathing, and a lot of children know it. A lot of teachers are using it in their school. Box breathing is very simple, and we'll practice later. You'll do 4 breaths in, hold it, 4 breaths out, hold it. That's the box, 4, 4, 4, 4. And you do it for 4 or 5 rounds. It's really easy, simple, and the quickest research proven way to calm. All right, next one, body scan. You can notice different parts of your body and really talk about it. Can you feel your feet, your hands? Is your tummy tight or soft? Is your skin tingly? Is your heart racing? If they look up and down their body and become aware, it helps them come back to the present. So check in with your body. A lot of these can be done together. As you're breathing, check in with your body. As you're moving, check in with your body and breathing. That's the next one, movement. Not all mindfulness happens sitting down, stretching, rocking, walking slowly. These can be mindful if we're doing them with awareness. So, mindful movement. Again, like I said, you can do this body scan as you're moving, as you're mindfully walking and breathing. It doesn't all have to be in one position. As you know, stretching and yoga and those type of body movement activities are lovely. Even just walking around the backyard in a circle is fine. How about sensory grounding? Use the senses to really ground you. I like to call this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I tell my clients, if they're really having a moment, if they're in the middle of a storm, if they're upset, it's a great way to snap them out of it quickly. As you can do, okay, stop. We're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tell me 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can taste, 1 thing you can smell. It doesn't have to be in that order, but it gets them to ground themselves, and it's really magic. It's really magic for regulation. It gets them to ground themselves, gets them to think about something else, and long enough to calm. Then you might want to go into some breathing, depending. And it doesn't have to be that order that I said. So you can do any order, but as long as you get those 5 senses in that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 combination, beautiful, beautiful for regulation. You could also guide them on imagery. So you can invite your child to imagine a calm, happy place, wherever they might be happy. You might even have a picture of it in their room or in their calm corner, or wherever that calm spot is for them. What is their calm, happy place? What is that? And talk them through it. Remember when we went swimming and the water was so warm and the sun was beating down on you and you did that beautiful dive and you were so proud of yourself? Remember that? And you just came up out of the water so happy, right? Really guide them through it using soft language and a picture if you have it. It helps them create that safe zone in their mind that they can return to. You have a safe zone in your house, a safe zone in their mind. You could also have music, chimes, rain sounds, anything that they like to listen to. Those auditory learners really like to listen to certain sounds. And you could ask them by grounding them again, what do you hear? What kind of changes? How does your body feel? Remember, tagging these together is a great solution. So how does your body feel? Let's do some breathing while you're listening to some calming music. And then, of course, coloring and drawing. Why were those coloring books so popular recently, right? Everyone from adults to kids love to color, draw, just kind of zone out and be mindful, though, of how your body's feeling, how you're feeling when you are coloring and drawing. And it can really become a great regulation tool. So in the calming corner, in your special corner, definitely a great place to keep the coloring, drawing, lighting, music, images of their happy place, right? All of this could be great in your calm corner. And if you don't have that readily available in your classroom or as you're out in a restaurant or something, bringing these activities to the place, because it's not always going to happen in your home, right? There will be times when you are out and about and need to pull some of these strategies out. So yeah, think about this as you're going out to eat, as you're at school, in the car. Where can you use these strategies? A lot of them don't need much preparation. You can do them right there. Okay, mindful eating. Take a bite of a favorite snack and you can ask them, what does it taste like? What is the texture like? Or as you're eating dinner as a family, put the phones down, please, eat together and talk, but also talk about the food. Thank the chef, enjoy the flavors, really just slow down and engage with the moment. All right. And then downtime breaks. Mindfulness doesn't always mean doing, you don't always have to be like, we have to do this thing to be mindful, right? It can just be about being. Yeah. You can just be, lay there and breathe quietly, lay there and scan your body. Just quiet time where your child can rest without screens or expectations. You can rest. Whoever is using these strategies, just have that downtime without anything, without any noise, any distractions. Just be and see how your body feels. Check in with the breathing and scanning your body. All right. So as I said, you can make this work for your kid, yourself, obviously, tailor for yourself or any loved one you know. for your child, you know them best. So the key is not to force mindfulness, it's to invite it, right? So you want to give choices. Would you like to try breathing or coloring? Which one do you think feels better for you right now? Which one does your body need? You could say, check in with your body. What do you think it needs right now? Keep the language simple. Let's take a calm breath together. We'll do this together because we're both feeling frustrated. We're both annoyed. And if we take a calm breath together, we'll feel better together. Be consistent but low pressure. Really do this for a few minutes daily. It's better than a long session once a week. So if you do this daily, it certainly is better. And your child will be ready because we're really thinking about the future. And we want to set our children up for success in the future. So get the grown-ups, everyone in your child's circle or in your own circle, get them on board. Talk to teachers and caregivers and other family members so that everyone can reinforce these tools. And everyone should be doing them anyway, right? We all need to breathe. We all need to scan our bodies for what's triggering us, what's upsetting us. So get others on board to help your child and support them, regardless of which environment they're in. All right, so what happens when kids learn this? I've seen kids go from explosive outbursts to thoughtful pauses. My son definitely, and myself, I would go from those explosive outbursts to being thoughtful, pausing, stopping, and practicing every day. And soon the anger was gone. It really was. And for my son, with his anxiety and his frustrations, he would learn the breathing, checking in with himself, being present, and suddenly he was able to be in environments where he used to feel anxious because he knew how to control it. He knew what triggered him. He knew what his body felt like beforehand. It wasn't overnight, but it did happen. And now he teaches his friends. I love it. And I've really seen parents just cry tears of relief. I certainly did when my child finally says, I need a break instead of having a meltdown. Music to your ears if you are one of those that's waiting for that moment. But yes, they will get there and they will say, yes, I need a break instead of having a meltdown. And research really backs up mindfulness and emotional regulation practices. It really helps kids feel safer in their skin. It improves focus and learning. It boosts confidence in communication. And best of all, it builds skills that they'll need for life. For life. So isn't that wonderful? We're really creating strategies and tools and techniques that will help them long from now. And that's what we want. We want our kids to be successful when we're not even around, right? So let's try together. Let's try for a few minutes. We're going to do the box breathing together. So as you're doing it, I welcome you to, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes, but you can do this while you're driving. If you're at home, then I welcome you to feel your body as you were breathing. I would like you to also really breathe into your stomach and breathe as deeply as you can and breathe out as deeply as you can. And let's go. Let's try for 4 rounds. Here we go. In for 4. Hold. Out for 4. Hold. 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 All right, and there you have it. I hope you were able to just kind of scan your body as you were breathing and listening to my voice give you the directions so you didn't have to think too much. And how do you feel? I should have asked how you felt beforehand, but yeah, how do you feel now? You should feel a little bit more calm. Your skin should feel a little more relaxed, a little more peaceful. Wonderful. All right, let's wrap up. Whether your child's day feels like a roller coaster or a puzzle you haven't quite solved, please know that you're not alone and that there are tools to help. These tools, talking to other people, we've talked about them a lot in these episodes, but mindfulness isn't an immediate fix. It does need daily practice, but it is a powerful and gentle step toward more peace and connection. So I hope you felt that in this episode. I hope I gave you lots of strategies to try. Please do not try them all at once. If you want to tack two together, that's fine. Like I talked about, breathing and checking with your body. Don't try them all at once and don't overdo it. Just try one or two, but try every day for a couple weeks and see what the shift is. Try it when your child is angry or when they're relaxed. Preferably start when they're relaxed and in a good state to receive this information. And then when they're really in the moment, in the storm, as I'm calling it, then they can practice as well these strategies. So I wouldn't wait until there is the moment to be like, oh yeah, what's that breathing thing? What are you supposed to do? It will just probably frustrate more than anything. But try them, try it, and let me know how it goes. And I really just thank you for being here with me. Of course, if it helped you, please share this with a friend or leave a review. That would really help this episode, this podcast go out to lots of people that need this support, that need this help. And that's what I'm here for, right? To help and serve and share these strategies. As always, I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. I'm rooting for you. But until next time, please keep breathing, keep noticing your body, keep believing in you and your amazing kid. You got this. Until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Key Nexus. We are so glad you took the time to join us today. I know time is precious, and we are so glad you're here. I hope you got a lot out of this episode. Please don't forget to post your activity using hashtag NeuroNexus. That's NeuroNexus. And of course, all links are in the show notes. And I just really hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please like and subscribe and share this with a friend. I think this is really good for families that are new to their child being diagnosed with ADHD. And I believe that the tips and tricks and resources I'll be sharing will be very helpful for all families, but especially new families. And finally, I am creating a workshop coming up to help families with ADHD finding and using a holistic, natural approach in support of a book chapter that I'm writing and articles and magazines that are coming out. But my workshop, I'm so excited about because I can work with you all one-on-one. If you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again. And remember, let's keep it quirky. See you next time.